Hi everyone, how's it going? Ace Studio reached out to me and asked me to take a look at their new AI-powered violin, which they describe as the best AI violin plugin that performs like human masters. So I'm really curious to see if this is going to be the future of model instruments, of virtual instruments, of libraries, because apparently you don't need huge amounts of RAM. You can just input MIDI and create amazing violin performances, which apparently, according to them, sound like they were performed by human masters. So I'm going to put it to the test today in that I'm going to put some MIDI of pieces of music of mine, which have been performed by real live violinists and recorded, and then compare and contrast it to what this Ace Studio violin does. So you're going to hear real violin recordings compared to this Ace violin recording. We're going to do it with a couple of pieces of mine, more in my kind of concert classical music, but still hopefully should give us a good idea of what this AI violin is able to achieve. So let's get started with this. So I'm going to start with a piece of mine called Incantation, which I wrote quite a few years ago, but I'm just looking for a piece which has quite an exposed kind of solo violin part. And this work is for soprano saxophone, violin, and piano. I'm going to go from this little part here where we have a solo violin solo here, which is the middle line with piano accompaniment. So this is what this sounds like here. It's going from here. So just that page is what we're going to do. So I've exported all the MIDI, and I'm going to now take this violin MIDI and put it into the studio. So we need to create a new track, AI track, and select the violin track. So now we can delete these other ones, I think. This is a totally new interface to me. I don't really know how this works. I've literally just kind of worked out how to put the violin in. So we've got the violin MIDI here. I'm going to import it, drag it in. Do you want to apply the tempo and signature? Yes. And then we let it do its thing. I think it may have done its thing. Okay. So I'm going to go to, what was it, 63, around a bit here. And let's hear if this is literally just pure MIDI, which has come from this Sibelius score. And let's see what this Ace violin sounds like. Oh, so now it needs to do its thinking. Okay, can't play glisses, that's okay. Okay, it misses that gliss again. Our AI overlords are coming for us. That's really, really very convincing, I have to say. I'm going to put a bit more reverb on it because I think it's very dry. And it's maybe not giving it a fair enough shot. Okay, that sounds really great. Let's just compare it again. pretty good, you know. Really pretty good. So if we forget the fact that it can't play glissandos yet, that's probably just, I could change that in the MIDI programming if I had to. I am pretty impressed by that. Maybe I'm a bit worried. It sounds very, very realistic. And considering it's literally just got plain MIDI with, I assume, maybe the velocities, perhaps. It must have the velocities, surely. They don't have different colors. I'm not sure. I don't want to say something and be completely wrong. But it has a really great musical shape. You know, it shapes the phrase nicely, without having to tell it to do anything. It is as if it is reading the dynamics that I've put in as well. And I think to most listeners, with a bit more kind of finesse in the programming, I think you would not probably be able to tell that much. The tone is really good. The vibrato's nice, and yeah, I'm kind of a bit sort of shocked by how good it is. Let's skip forward to this kind of melody that comes in here. So where's this? About bar 90 or so. Let's just try and listen to the track first of all. I want to listen to this melody now. That was about bar 90 or so. Let's see. 90. About here. That is amazing. That's honestly amazing. Even the kind of the rearticulations that it takes. And the way that it decrescendos through that note and then comes back in strongly in the retake is exactly what a violinist would do. This is, honestly, I'm trying not to be too kind of hyperbolic in what I'm saying, but this is genuinely stunning. And if this is the future of instrumental sampling, I'm here for it. AI or no AI, I'm really impressed by even the tone of it. The vibrato's great. The intensity of it, it's like it's read the performance instructions here, but it hasn't. It's literally just got plain MIDI. Okay, I'm going to skip to another piece now. So that was a piece called Incantation. This is a string quartet that I wrote called Silent Shores, which I wrote for the Edinburgh Quartet. This is quite a long piece. It lasts like 16 minutes, so it might take a while for it to render. So this is the Edinburgh Quartet playing it. No, it comes in at figure 2, being totally stupid. Okay, so let's just try from this melody. It's around about bar 39 or so. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, it needs to do a little think. It's quite a long piece, so it might take a while. okay, I think it's a really great rendition that it's doing. This is a slightly more, I don't know, kind of complex sort of piece compared to the first one that I showed you, in that these sort of gestures here, a player would just play them really in the background, and the AI violin is trying to play it like melody. I suppose that's a distinction that it can't make, is what is melody and what is kind of colour, or what is to be more played in not such a kind of melodic sort of way. And the overall sound of it is just absolutely beautiful. Let's try some really high stuff, pretty high. I mean, it really captures the intensity of a violin playing that high. I'll just try and find the real recording. It's maybe quite hard to compare, but I mean, it does an incredible job, considering there's no programming gone into it at all. It really is as if it's managed to read all this information that I've given the performers. Okay, we're going to go from this part here at figure 22. Let's just hear what this sounds like. Okay, it doesn't play back that final gliss properly, but that is an incredible performance of what is a really hard but pretty idiomatically written violin part, if I may say so myself. But it's really capturing it so well, like all the really kind of fast open strings. You can even hear a bit of the kind of resonance going on. The portmanteaus between the notes is just incredible. The tone is great. It captures the character of it. I think that's the biggest thing, that it captures the character of what this melody should be. So here's the same bit on the live quartet coming up. It says here expression controls coming soon. Great, and I think it has quite a lot of stuff that still needs to be added, given the communication I've had from Ace Studio. But I'm honestly kind of blown away by what that instrument is capable of with just plain MIDI. The hours of my life I've spent programming stuff which doesn't get anywhere near as close as that is quite galling, really. That I can just put in plain MIDI, and I'm sure with a couple of tweaks would sound really very realistic. I used this word before, idiomatic, where you write something which kind of fits on an instrument really well and makes it good for performers to play. And what this instrument does is it performs idiomatically. It performs as a violinist would play, without having to tell it to play it like how a violinist would play. It sort of knows how a violinist would play a phrase, and that is what I think makes this instrument really very, very valuable. So I'm going to continue experimenting with it. I'll probably write some simpler music for it and see what I come up with, and I might do a kind of a recap video on this again. I've got this for a month to experiment with it and maybe do another video or so. But I will certainly do that. Let me know your comments down below. I'm sorry I couldn't isolate the live violins on their own. You had to hear that as part of a context, but hopefully you got a good idea of just how I think incredible this instrument is, and just how useful it could possibly be. And if this is what instrumental sampling looks like in the future, I'm certainly interested. It would save so much time in programming and all those kind of boring things that we have to do as composers. Anyway, I appreciate I'm rambling a great deal here. This is a really interesting instrument. I'm stunned that it can do what it does with just MIDI information. That really blows my mind. And compared to the live recordings that I had, it does a pretty good job of being very close to them, I think. So I'm really going to enjoy experimenting with this for the next little while, and I will come back to you as and when I come up with more stuff. Thanks so much for coming along. If you've got any questions or comments, please do let me know down below. I'd be very happy to get back to you. So hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Drop us a little subscribe, give us a like, that'd be great. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.